Hello everyone. So UPSC has finally declared the date for prelims, October 4, 2020. So all of you must be gearing up for the prelims challenge, which all of you should be, of course. So अब जब डेट आ चुका है तो कहीं ना कहीं सीरियसनेस हर एस्पिरेंट के अंदर बढ़ने लगता है. हम सब लोग प्लान करने लगते हैं कि इतना दिन रह गया एंड ये टॉपिक पढ़ना और इस तरह से पढ़ना एंड सो ऑन एंड it should be like that. But my suggestion to all of you would be consider main exam as well. We just have 2 months between the prelims and mains exam. So it's just the November and December left, and yes, of course, October also, but then it is quite challenging to prepare mains completely in such a little time. तो अगर हमारे पास 2-2.5 महीना सिर्फ बचा मेंस एग्जाम के लिए, तो अभी क्या करना चाहिए. कुछ लोगों ने सवाल पूछे कि अभी हमें समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि प्रीलिम्स पढ़ें कि मेंस पढ़ें, व्हाट शुड वी डू अबाउट. सो friends, I must tell you one thing, that we should not separate the preparation for both of the exams. देखिए, जब आप प्रीलिम्स के लिए पढ़ते हैं तो इंफॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट करते हैं, फैक्ट्स कलेक्ट करते हैं. उन्हीं फैक्ट्स, उसी इंफॉर्मेशन को जब आप बहुत अच्छे से प्रेजेंट करते हैं मेंस में, राइट, वो जरूरी है, बिकॉज तो आपका मेंस का आंसर बनेगा. तो मेंस के आंसर लिखने के लिए बहुत सारा फैक्ट्स और इंफॉर्मेशन की जरूरत होती है. एनालिसिस यू कैन एनालाइज ओनली ऑन द बेस ऑफ द फैक्ट्स, ऑन द बेस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन. सो प्लीज डोंट सेपरेट द टू प्रिपरेशंस, दे आर सेम. हाँ, अप्रोचेस वुड बी डिफरेंट. लाइक if I read a topic where I need to produce some 20, 30, or rather points, or say 200 words, analyze. So it'll be different the way I approach the topic. So मैं उसको ध्यान से पढ़ूंगा, कुछ फैक्ट्स कलेक्ट करूंगा, समझने की कोशिश करूंगा. लेकिन अगर वही प्रीलिम्स के लिए पढ़ाई करूं, I focus only on the prelims. I know in the back of the mind that I just have to identify the correct answer. सही सवाल में सही आंसर मेरे सामने है, मुझे सिर्फ उसको आइडेंटिफाई करना है. तो पढ़ने का तरीका थोड़ा बदल जाता है. So prepare as if you're preparing for mains. सबसे पहले हर एस्पिरेंट को ये समझना चाहिए कि हमें मेंस क्लियर करना है. Be ready with that. Prepare, approach each topic with this kind of mindset. तो हमने थोड़ा बहुत हेल्प, थोड़ा वर्कआउट किया, और अगर ये स्ट्रेटजी कुछ लोगों के काम आए तो इट विल बी वेरी गुड फॉर us and those people as well, those who can work plan accordingly, because I can see some insecurity, some restlessness in a lot of people now. So as per my experience, whatever little experience I have about the examination or the preparation of the examination, I have designed a bit of revision technique for most of the students, for those who are taking prelims this year. So if we count, we have roughly around 4 months from now. So if I read topics and complete this by the month of, say, 15th September, 30th September, or something around that, and I don't revise properly, it's of no use. But I should plan my work, I should plan my studies or preparation in such a way that I should be able to at least revise it 3 to 4 times. अगर आप 3 से 4 बार इसको रिवाइज नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, तो बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो आपको ध्यान में नहीं रहेगा. इट्स वोलेटाइल, आज पढ़ा और कल भूल गया. So the human mind does not work in the way computer chips work, memory cards work. Human memory is different, it's not a memory card. So make sure that you revise it again and again. So what I suggest to all of you, what I was working and thought that, see, if we have broadly these components with us, history, polity, geography and ecology, I have merged these two, economy, current affairs, GK, science. Broadly, these are the components. Now, yes, of course, history is very challenging and very important. Modern, medieval, and then there's a art and culture from ancient India. and then also part of world history, how to study and all that. So you should be able to rationalize your time. So suppose if you are able to finish this history within 15 to 16 days. So from now, even if from now, those who have not studied anything, those who are in a state of confusion, this is the best time for all of you to start. Even if you have not studied much prior to this, due to some reasons or the other, please start. You can still crack prelims. You can still crack this UPSC Civil Service Examination 2020. Still, it's possible. So, suppose if I allot some 15 to 16 days for history, somewhere around 10 to 12 days for polity, somewhere around again 15 days for geography and ecology put together, economy some 7-8 days for ecology, economy, current affairs and GK 8 to 10 days, science and technology and science, general science 4 to 5 days. Within 60 days, I can still make sure that I can read through all of this. Complete. So what we thought that within 16 days, roughly completion can be done by 12th or 14th of August. Now, how to go about it? See, I've just written 15 days or 10 days or 20 days or 15 days based on the significance of the topic in exam. Like suppose ecology environment, there have been a lot of questions based on ecology and environment in context to current affairs. तो ये इकोलॉजी के बहुत सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चंस हैं, स्पीशीज हैं, समिट्स हैं, प्लेसेस हैं जो करंट अफेयर्स में भी इन्वॉल्व हैं या इंक्लूड होगी. तो इंटीग्रेट योर प्रिपरेशन इन सच अ वे दैट इट बिकम्स इजियर फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. नाउ सपोज we take history. So we know the components of the history. All the aspirants. Now I've just broadly given the 15 to 16 days here. Please divide the topic into smaller subtopics. Such as, see if we take an example of history or polity or geography, let's say these three major components. So if we divide modern India, suppose prior to 1857, prior to 1900 or the formation of Congress, and then divide what happened between 1905 or 6 to 1913, 14, and then 1920s, and then later, the way it is divided in your books, allot the dates there, which I'm sure some of you must be doing that, but stick to that, adhere to those dates. And if you are able to complete these by say 12th or 14th of August, we should be prepared for the second revision. Don't bother much when you are reading a component. Don't worry कि कितना मुझे याद रह रहा है, मुझे तो सब भूल रहा है, अभी इतना एग्जाम देना है, ये सब. Don't ignore these things. Now the first revision 1 should begin somewhere around 14 to 15th of August, and if I take some 60 days to complete the syllabus, you should be, or say 15 days for history, or 10 days for polity, or 15 days for geography, or anything. Now it should take roughly around, an immediate revision will take around 1/3 of time. So let's say 25 days. So if I begin my first revision on 15th of August, I should be able to complete this topic, complete the first revision by say roughly 10th or 11th of September. And get ready for the revision 2. Revision 2, again some 18 to 20 days. Again the same sequence, history, polity, whichever sequence you find. If you like economy, start with economy. If you like geography, start with geography. If you like history, start with history. It depends upon whichever topic you are comfortable with. Start with that. So revision 2 and by say 10 or 12th of September. Now prepare yourself for the revision 3 and complete this revision by, the revision 2 will complete by say 30th of September. And the revision 3rd is going to be the most critical. Now it should be a recap, it should be the summary of your entire studies, entire syllabus that you have covered. Like 1st, 2nd and 3rd of October, the most crucial day for any civil service aspirant you have to revise all that you study, that you read in these 4 months, rather all these days. If you don't revise, you know that it's going to be difficult. And trust me, the visual memory is the best memory. It does work in prelims. Because prelims is just the exam of identification. The correct answer is right in front of you. You just have to identify it. सिर्फ पहचानना है कि सही आंसर कौन सा है, आपके सामने आंसर है. So make sure that you read those carefully. Make sure that you revise them. The second thing that I would like to share with all of you, some of the students ask that कि एक कंपोनेंट पढ़ें कि दो कंपोनेंट पढ़ें, तीन कंपोनेंट पढ़ें, किस तरह से दिन में प्लान करना चाहिए. So I'll share some of my experience, and that I feel that it was very useful for most of them, for most of us. So let me share it with you. See, there are two ways. Either I study one component in the entire day, or second is when I study 3 to 4 components in the single day. If I study one component in a single day for like 6 hours, 7 hours, it will be a bit boring, number one. Number two, I might get tense that then there are other components also. So अगर मैं suppose सिर्फ पॉलिटी पढ़ रहा हूँ तो ध्यान में आएगा कि यार हिस्ट्री भी है, बाकी ज्योग्राफी भी, इकोलॉजी भी है, तो किस तरह से उसको बैलेंस करें. और अगर मैं 4 कंपोनेंट एक दिन में पढ़ता हूँ, 2 घंटा या then current affairs as well, it's like eating lot of dishes without separating them. It's like mixing out and then finding out the taste. So मुझे नहीं पता लगेगा कि इसका टेस्ट कैसा है. So what is to be done? The best strategy that I found was, suppose if we plan for 8 to 10 hours a day, all the aspirants get prepared 10 to 12 hours a day, at least 10 hours a day, you should allot. Yes, don't raise your eyebrows. Some of the people raise their eyebrows on this. 12 hours कैसे पढ़ेंगे? You have to 10 hours at least. Now you should plan in that way. Anyways, so 3 to 4 hours if you read a component, then solve the question for half an hour or so. That's like 3.5 hours to 4 hours, like 3.5 से 4 घंटे के आसपास. Then take a break. Then read another component 2, which I mean dependent upon your choice. अगर आपको you read history and polity, you read polity and geography, you read the science and current affairs or whatever. But I suggest there should be one heavy component. Heavy component by mean when there's a lot of information, a lot of concepts, and the second one is lighter one. Like for example, general science. Especially for science students, general science should not be much problem. Or some of the students, that depends upon your background also, whichever background you come from, or whatever is the academic background that you carry. वो एक कंपोनेंट आप चूज कर सकते हैं ताकि एक इंफॉर्मेटिव रहे, थोड़ा हैवी रहे, और दूसरा थोड़ा लाइटर कंपोनेंट रहे. Spend some 3 to 4 hours with that and then solve the question for half an hour. But one more thing, treat current affairs and general knowledge as a daily dose. Though I have separated current affairs and GK as a separate component here, एक अलग से component बताया, but अगर आप जनरल नॉलेज और करंट अफेयर्स को में कंफर्टेबल होना चाहते हैं, स्पेंड एटलीस्ट 2 hours पर डे. दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ करंट अफेयर्स में whatever is changing, there's a new temple or a new archaeological site that has been discovered, new tribe or something like that. You know quite well by now that what is current affairs and what are these. There can be sections of polity, there can be sections of ecology, environment, there are sections of economy, there are sections of the science and tech changing every day. And then there is GK, which is static. What is static? Like awards. Who is the sponsors of the award? Who are the presenters? Which country presents this particular prize or award? Or places, persons who have personalities, books, authors, which are not going to change. So that is the part of GK that you should also consider. In fact, it's very important that most of us overlook this. There are a few questions on GK as well. So broadly, 1 year of events that have taken place which affect common man, which affect our country, our society, is what is current affairs. But there is a component which remains static, as I've already mentioned, general knowledge. Make sure that you do this. And right now, even if you are not well prepared, even those who have not yet, those who are in a state of confusion, take this seriously. You can still make this year. You can still crack the Civil Service Examination 2020 and get very good ranks. The only need of the hour is you pull up your socks. You work upon this. It's just 4 months of time for prelims and 2 months for mains. Trust me, human mind works best when there are short-term targets. If I tell myself that I have to achieve something in the future, I might not be that serious. But if I tell myself that I have to achieve something within 3 days or a week, I'll be very serious in working upon that. So we have a short-term target in front of us, October 4th, and then mains in January, and finally a very good rank this year. So make sure, all of you, those who will want to follow this strategy, we will be synchronizing our test series also along with the same. So make sure that if you complete your syllabus by mid of August, then another 20 days, 25 days to complete the first revision by mid of September. By end of September, revision, the second revision should be done, or that's a third reading. Fourth, or revision 3, last 3 days, pass everything what you have studied in last 4 months, pass through your eyes, go to prelims with a positive frame of mind, identify the correct answer, get through. And all the first timers, those who are taking prelims for the first time, or those who have not been able to crack the prelims in last 2-3 attempts. See, for the first timers, just one word. The first attempt should be the best attempt. It has to be the best attempt. Give your 100% to it. And those who have not been able to clear prelims for 2-3 attempts, don't worry. It just takes one good attempt to get through. And this is that attempt that all of you have to take. Work, doesn't matter where you stand, doesn't matter where you are there, it has to be the best attempt of your life. And if you really spend this 6 months from now, if you strategize, you know that you are going to crack this exam. So work upon this, wherever you stand, wherever you are, whichever position you are. I read this beautiful quote in mind. I want to share this with all of you. That in the jungles of savannah, a lion wakes up. It knows it has to run faster than the slowest deer. Otherwise, it will remain hungry and get killed. In the same jungles, a deer wakes up. It knows it has to run fastest than the slowest lion. Otherwise, it will get killed. So it doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a deer. When the sun is on the horizon, you must run. So the time is here to all of you to run, to work, hit the target, get through. We will be more than happy to solve any of your queries. If you have any queries, any suggestions, any problems, please, you can send your questions. We'll be there to help you. Thanks a lot.